empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Et le Vrai Talk Show commence maintenant. Welcome back, everyone, to the Real Talk Show by Chantal Maroun. Today, I'm so happy to meet my friend and present him to you. He's an entrepreneur and YouTuber. He creates progress in the society. Let's meet today Abrar Hossain. Welcome, Abrar, to my YouTube show.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
In fact, it was really clear in my head that I wanted to meet you today and present you to the public of the Real Talk Show because you're an inspiring person and you create progress in the society. You have your own YouTube channel also where you post about different subjects. So you are a YouTuber and entrepreneur. We will speak about different aspects of what you do. But first, if we just say generally speaking, also I remember we met at the Millionaire Mind event.
Yeah, in 2016.
Yeah, 2016. So from this moment to now, you really evolved. You cut your hair.
I used to have long hair like a rock star.
Yes, so you have different aspects that you have changed or evolved in your life, and we will be able to speak about that. So please tell me, from the Millionaire Mind, what happened?
So when we met at the Millionaire Mind in 2016, I actually met a lot of friends at that period. And also, that was the time I was going through like financial and personal uncertainty in my life, and I was looking through different avenues where I could make progress, financially speaking and also psychologically. For example, building up like reassurance, self-confidence, self-reassurance, and also having a business, having good income, so different basic things in life that I wanted to consolidate. So at that period, I went to the Millionaire Mind, and I was taking a lot of courses online and stuff like that, and I tried into different things throughout the years, and something that stuck with me was investing and the value of investing in our future. And when I talk about investing, for me, it's stock market investing. For other people, it might be private deals, it could be real estate investing, and investing in any other public or private markets. For me, what got me really interested was the stock market.
Yes.
And I stuck to it by learning from books, learning from online courses, learning on my own, and putting my own money into the market and from my own experiences.
So it was a risk for you since you already had this uncertainty and you were in an maybe unstable phase of your life. You still had this courage of investing or discovering this field of the stock exchange.
Yes, you could see it in that way, but I wasn't seeing it from this perspective that I'm adding risk to my life.
Okay.
I was thinking I already have a high level of uncertainty in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So since the level is already high, I cannot add significantly to that.
Yes, there's nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, well, I had things to lose, but it wasn't much.
Okay.
So adding another layer of risk or another layer of uncertainty wasn't a huge deal for me at that period. And well, when I started in the stock market, I started by trading options, which is very volatile, very risky, and very dramatic.
Okay.
I did that for a few years, but then I transitioned into like long-term investing. I still do options on the side, but I was coming from a perspective that whatever I do, the pleasure of the thought that it will take the uncertainty in my life down was more than the displeasure of adding another layer of uncertainty.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand what you mean. So did you invest in short-term investments because you wanted to have the money like fast to have income?
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't have a lot of income at that time. My priority was to make money fast.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing was I had to acknowledge the place that I was coming from at that moment. At that moment, I didn't have a lot of cash lying around. I've always been a saver. So no matter what I earned, I saved a huge chunk of my paycheck and I saved that on the side. So I had money, but it wasn't much. So for the long-term investing, anywhere from like 10 to 30%, it would be in a range of normalcy. But I wanted to like double, triple my money, which might not sound too wise, but at that time I wasn't wise. And I had little money. So I took the little money, I saw the medium of options trading, and I just jumped in at that time. Yeah.
Okay, so it's really interesting. Can you please tell us more about your YouTube channel?
So the YouTube channel, I have just started making videos from last week, and it is not something I think about as a business venture. It's just since I am at home all the time and I have all the time in the world, I just thought of making like fun, light-hearted videos to consume my time, and also as a way to connect with people. I share what I'm going through, in turns I get messages of what they're going through and how they relate and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Eventually, I am planning to do personal finance and investing content into the channel, but for now it's just for like self-indulgence.
Okay, would it be 2 different channels, or this one that would be used also for business?
I haven't decided on that yet.
Okay.
It might be different, but it might also be the same. I haven't decided.
Perfect. Yes, you have the time. Yeah. You have the time to decide what you want to do. And you recently had videos about how to panic the correct way. Can you please tell us about that?
So basically, I have always been a student of human psychology. That is what I studied in school. And I find it fascinating how we behave. Yeah. And we have all these rules that we make for ourselves. Like, we should always be gentle, we should always be calm.
Positive.
We should not be impatient. Patience is a virtue. But we're human beings. Like, we don't operate that way.
Yeah.
If we see stress, we panic, we freak out. If we don't have money, we freak out. If we kind of have a dispute with a loved one, we lose our calm. That is like our instinctual reactions.
Of course.
So I was thinking rather than making a video about the virtues of patience and staying calm, I can just make fun of how we operate.
Yes.
And people will actually relate more to panicking and freaking out than staying calm. So it was just a funny, lighthearted video.
Yes. So you're also just natural, you're yourself, you present real content to your public. So this is also very good. You don't fake anything. You just present naturally.
Oh, thank you. That's a compliment.
So guys, you can subscribe to his YouTube channel and discover all this amazing content. And also very soon he mentioned that he will have content about his business. So let's talk business now. Like yesterday you told me that you have new products that you're launching soon. Can you please tell us more about that, or is it still secret?
It's not a secret. So what I plan to do on an online platform, I have already been doing it with my friends and family in my real life. Mm-hmm. And at this moment, I was thinking, since we're going through this crisis situation, a lot of wealth is being destroyed. And we are more, as I told you, we are more prone and susceptible to taking stupid decisions because we're anxious and we're fearful. And I have seen the impact that I have had with my friends and family. They all invest. And even though in the short term, they lost a little bit of money, so even I have lost a little bit of money in the short term because of the markets. At the same time, we have to look at the long-term vision. What do we want to achieve in 20, 30, 40 years from now?
Exactly.
And we don't really think about that. And if we have a longer time frame, for example, especially for young folks like us, 20s, 30s, and even early 40s, we have the luxury of dying before we retire, before we are in our 50s and 60s. So we don't have to work much. We can just put aside a few $100s every month and let it work by itself so that we can have a strong nest egg later in our life. And when, let's say, when I'm in my 50s, in my late 50s, I wouldn't have to think about working full time to pay my bills. I can prioritize spending time with my family and spending time in my hobbies. So that is the main goal of what I do and what I have taught my family members and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And since we are in this crisis situation, I want to take what I have been doing with my friends to other people online. And throughout the years, as I've been doing it with other people, I have built up a very simple system, like not a lot of like bells and jingles around the side, not a lot of jargon, a lot of like heavy financial words to overwhelm you. It's just ABC, that's it. Like you do not have to know anything about finances. So I put all of the system that I've built up working with other people, and I am writing it down as an ebook format, as worksheets, and I will be doing videos as well for people who learn better through videos and like audio listening and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is where I'm working at right now, helping people invest through like humanitarian crisis, even if there's a world war, civil wars, whatever comes, it doesn't matter. As long as we have like a basic income, the income doesn't have to be much. As long as we have like a small, decent income, we can still work towards having financial independence and freedom without much work, without any knowledge, and without like any emotional or psychological resources.
Yes. So not necessarily thinking about the short term, but also thinking about the long term, because this crisis has an end, correct? It's not forever. So
And only the people who are experts and professionals can, how would I say, really think about the short term, because they have all those resources and they have studied on these domains for like all their lives. But for us ordinary people, we do not need to be experts. We have our own lives, we have our family, we have our hobbies, we have the work that we do, and everyone has a lot of things going on in their lives. So we do not want to add another layer of stress, another layer of work, another layer of like whatever it is that drains your energy or takes up your energy into our lives. The main thing is to add a level of financial security and a financial certainty.
But you need knowledge.
The work, yes, that is the thing. So what I'm trying to do is take all the knowledge and simplifying it in a way that anyone who doesn't have the knowledge at all can set an account and investing discipline themselves. Like within a day, within a few hours, that's it.
Perfect. So your course, how many sessions do we have to take to be able to invest? Is it one course, 2, 3, 4? Like, how does it work?
I haven't really thought about how I will set everything up. I have different ideas sporadically,
Okay.
and it wouldn't be like a long drawn course. That is not what you need in life. You already like us. We have a lot of commitments in our lives already. We need something that we can take, learn very quickly, and use it right away, like the next day, the next few hours.
Okay.
Yeah, right now already have written one book, which I delegated to one of my friends to do like editing and seeing if everything is set right. So that one is the investment handbook, like the $1 Million Investment Handbook for millennials.
When will it
And
be published? Can we know?
so if everything goes well, maybe a week to 10 days. But
Awesome.
I'm also a perfectionist. So if my drive for perfectionism kind of consumes me, it might be more like a month, because my ideal would be to work on the whole product suite, like everything available, and then launch it. But it mainly depends. It would be somewhere from like 10 days to 30 days as we speak.
And will it be only in English, or you are planning to translate it in different languages?
For now, it'll be only in English. I speak French, but my French is not very, very well. So I don't feel very confident. At later times, maybe, depending on the demand, I will do it in French as well. But for now, it's mainly in English. And the second one I'm working on right now is building financial freedom through times of crisis, like pandemic that we're going through. And later on, the other two ideas that I have, which I will turn into books or products, would be describing, like going through different strategies, like not different strategies, just one single strategy, which I break down into layman's terms anyone can understand, on how to protect the portfolio, how to protect wealth. So let's say I have worked 10, 15 years of my life in a job, and I have saved up $50,000 or $100,000, and I cannot fathom going through 30%, 40%, 50, 60, 70% drop in the market. I know in the long term it might come back. Well, it will come back for sure, but in the short term, it would be a gut punch to the stomach, because I have worked 10, 15 years of my life for that. And I'm seeing all the value going away for a few years. That would be very hard on myself emotionally and like psychologically. So as I said, I have traded options, and I know different options techniques that I can use to protect the portfolio. Like when we have a good amount of portfolio built up, a good amount of assets in the stock market. Yeah, there is a very simple thing that we can do to protect, to have a downward limit. So let's say I have a $100,000 portfolio, and I do a protection that when the market goes under 10%, the max loss I will take is 10%.
Yeah.
If it goes down 90%, doesn't matter. My max loss will be 10%. And you know what's the beautiful thing about that? The beautiful thing is you don't need to sell anything. You can hold all your positions. You might see that everything has dropped 90%, but at the end of the year or 2 years or however you set it, you can say, okay, fine. I have the protection, I have that insurance, and I will apply this insurance to take only 10% hit, not a 50 or 60, 70% hit. Okay. So that is one idea I am working at. In short, it's called put options, using put options. So everything that I've learned to simplify the learning process and showing you how to use it. Well, learning about it in your head is the hardest part, but using it is super easy. It takes like seconds. So when you're using protection, it would take you a few seconds to put that up for the whole year or maybe a few years. This is one product that I'm working on, and another would be to increase your income through your portfolio. When you have a portfolio, you have stock prices going up, so that's the appreciation, one form of like income, you could call it. Another form is dividends. So a lot of stocks who are very established or want to have shareholder loyalty, they give cashbacks. That
Yes.
could be anywhere from like 1 to 2% to like 5 to 8%. Usually, there are a lot of companies who have been here for like a century or more that give you 5 to 8% dividend, somewhere around that place. So these are two forms of income that you can, or growth that you can expect with your stock portfolio. But there is also another thing that you could do by selling options on your portfolio to generate more income. Let's say your portfolio goes up 10%,
Mm-hmm.
and you have another 2 to 3% in dividends, so 12 to 13%. But by using options in an extremely safe way, like it is so safe that it is like ridiculous. You can increase your income on that portfolio by 5 to 10% a year.
Nice.
And 5 to 10% doesn't sound much, but compounded, it could mean like $250,000 to $500,000 throughout the course of our lifetimes. So
That's
if you want to
amazing.
look that up, yeah, if you want to look that up, that's called covered calls. Yeah, covered calls. And for people who do not have the time, do not have the resources, I will be writing a book and doing video lessons on how to understand and how to set these up in a very easy and simple way. So you learn it in an hour, one day, and the next day you go and apply it right away. So that is mainly, these are the 4 things that I have going on that I want to complete within a month. And I have used all of these myself, and I have seen results, and I have seen the disasters in my own account when I don't use them.
Mm. And it's so emotional. Money is emotional.
For sure. Even last week, I don't have a lot of money in the markets right now, but I do have a little bit. Even on that little bit, when I saw the wild swing last week, I started like freaking out emotionally. I know I wouldn't sell, and I know I have good things in place, set in motion, but it was very hard for me just to acknowledge that I'm going through all of that, and to tell myself I have to go through this. Like, I will not take any action based on how I'm feeling. I will not buy, I will not sell, I will not do any like sophisticated hedging, protection, whatever, over the head. No, this is an emotion, and I will have to let it pass no matter how uncomfortable I feel.
Yes.
Since I have not built up my brand yet, I will be giving that book away for free.
Wow.
And yeah, and after that, I will get into like selling my products as well for people who want to work further.
So guys, you have to follow this all the information that I will be putting about my friend Abrar, because you will be able to receive this free book and follow everything that he's doing. So I'm really happy that you guys are knowing about what he's doing today, because this is an opportunity to have knowledge regarding the stock exchange and how to invest and how to deal with emotions when you invest. So this is really awesome, Abrar, and all my public will be so happy to discover more about this book and what you're doing. Thank you for sharing this with us.